Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Huge shout out today to our sponsors, Independent Merchant Brokers for all your credit card, debit card processing needs, and the Enliven Foundation, fighting generational poverty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. So glad to have you all with us today. You know, I am really excited for Emily Harman, my guest today. She is just so full of joy. We had a nice chat before we went on today, and just what a positive person. I appreciate her so much. Helps get my day off to a good start. I think I'm pretty positive and pretty encouraging, but it's nice to come across other positive, encouraging people. And that's what I try to surround myself with. In fact, today I want to encourage you, reach out, help and encourage others, and really look for people that also help and encourage you. It'll really brighten your day and it'll make it a better life. And you get to choose, remember. So anyway, just wanted to remind you, this is Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. We are on every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time now. And we also I have a special show, The Experience Live with Russ and Scott, every Wednesday at 7 a.m. PDT. So I wanted to remind you about that as well. And I am an inspiration specialist. I'm a coach, motivational speaker. I am here to encourage you, help you live a better life. I have a great group right now called Purpose to Profit. It's a Facebook group I have going, and I am doing some great material about that, how to turn your purpose in life and the good things in your life into profit in your business. So if you want to know more about that, check out my Facebook group. But you can always go to russhedge.com. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me and learn more about me. russhedge.com has got links to everything you'll need. So that's where you will find me. So without further ado, I'm going to just go ahead and bring in Emily because I'm excited to get going. Here she comes. Hello, Emily.
Hi, Russ.
How you doing?
Good to be here today. I really enjoyed it when we met about a month or so ago, and we both have like a similar mission, just to help people, live the life that they love.
Yes. Oh, that is so true. And that's why I think we connected so quickly. Mm-hmm. And you have quite a background and all the good things that you were doing. And I want to talk about what you're up to today. So I'm going to just let you jump in and give everybody a little background and tell them what you're up to today.
Okay. Well, it's kind of interesting. I want to share that I'm kind of switching careers a little bit. So for people who really want to create a life that they love, sometimes that's kind of what you have to have happen. You have to kind of reinvent yourself. So I retired in May of 2019 after working for the Navy for 38 years, 38 years of my life. And I really enjoyed it. And at the end of my career, what I was known for is I was the director of the Office of Small Business Programs for the Navy and the Marine Corps. And when I retired, everyone was telling me what I should do. You should go be a consultant. You should go do this. You should go do that. Go work for a large firm. And I just decided, I want to wait. I want to figure out what I want to do. Who am I? And what do I want to do? I I think I had kind of forgotten how to dream. And so I've kind of I'm in the middle of reinventing myself a little bit, discovering myself and, doing what you said, creating a living, doing what I love.
Yeah.
Like with your Purpose to Profit podcast. Facebook group. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you keep going, but I want you to know that, that is so true. People should really take what they're passionate about, what they love, and use that to launch them into a career where they really will have purpose, right? That's what it's all about. How do you gain purpose and really significance when you're doing stuff just because you have to, right? Just because everybody else says that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Right. And, I really enjoyed working for the Navy. I really enjoyed serving my country. And I was very fortunate in that kind of line of work really gives you a purpose. It's the nation's defense. It's serving the warfighter. It was as a contracting officer, awarding contracts that would help the warfighter win and come safely home. And as a small business director, it was helping small businesses figure out how to do business to support that warfighter in the Navy and the Marine Corps. So I really loved all of that. But, when I retired, I wanted to do something different. I was still passionate about helping small businesses, but I've always been passionate about, like self-help and, understanding myself. And, I just had put some of those that work on the shelf, I guess. And so when I retired, I was like, I really want to figure out who I am. I want to rediscover myself. I've been buried under a mound of responsibilities as a single parent, sometimes as a wife, but as a single parent and, putting my children first. And if anyone's listened to my Onward podcast, my daughter suffers from anxiety. She's got some invisible illnesses. So it's always, at Children's Hospital a lot. And then my son is 4.5 years sober from alcoholism. And so that 10 years of where he was doing drugs and alcohol was really challenging. So it's like, finally, I get to retire and do something that I really love. And so I've been spending those 2 years creating that. And what I did is I first started hosting the Onward podcast, which is all about moving forward after adversity, facing adversity, moving forward. And then I think a lot of times when we face adversity, we discover ourselves, discover who we are. So I've learned so much from all of my guests. I've had 120 guests on so far, and wow. I really enjoy that. Then I started the Onward movement, which is all about creating a life that you love. And that's what my coaching program is based around.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that what I love that you're talking about is people forget, we all go through challenges and adversity, no matter how positive and upbeat and moving forward we are. We all have to deal with things in life, but it's how we choose to deal with that. And what's really important, I think, is to take it back and look at, in order for us to be giving and help other people and do great things, we have to make sure we take care of ourselves. And sometimes we get caught up in kind of a cycle like you talk about, where you're so busy helping other people, you're not doing anything for yourself. And I've said it a million times, but the old airline analogy is so true. If you don't take the oxygen mask and put it on you, you're going to pass out and not be able to help anybody.
That's true.
Yeah, you got to be careful not to burn yourself out and be able to add value to others, right?
Right. And in the last few years of my job, I started to get burnt out and I was traveling so much, 2 or 3 times a month. And I guess my hip started hurting. So I'm 56. And on the day I retired, which I didn't call it a retirement, I called it my graduation. On my graduation ceremony day, I was having a hard time walking because my hip hurt so badly from just sitting and traveling all the time. And so I was not putting my health first. And so when I retired, like I said, I decided to put myself first. But then within a month after I retired, I had to go back to putting other people first, which is fine. But my children's father, we had been divorced since 2002, but he got diagnosed with cancer. And within we all, Annie Lee posted the other day about appreciating our health. And it's so important that we appreciate our health and we make time to go to our doctor's appointments and things like that. When his cancer was discovered, it was kidney cancer and it was too late. And he had a tumor in his neck, and he had tumors throughout his body, but the one in his neck caused both of his arms to be paralyzed for the last, he passed away in December. So July, he was diagnosed and he passed away in December. And I was the executive of the state and helping my children through that. So again, I put other people first, but there's times when you have to, do that. And now, thankfully, I'm still helping others, but I've spent the past 2 years helping myself as well, like learning how to feel again, learning how to dream again, learning how to meditate. I was always too busy to meditate. I didn't think that I could do that, but I can. And it's made my life so much better, more in flow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I think you are right on as far as taking care of our health and doing things. And I know there's been times where I haven't done as well. That I've always been a pretty healthy guy and worked out, but there's times you kind of start looking past things, and we've got to stay on top of those type of things. I think I'm a man of faith, and I love what it says. You need to love others as you love yourself. So think about that. I mean, if we're not loving and taking care of ourselves, how can we love and put others, help others? So I think that is so important in all that we do, because we want to be giving and helping and make a big difference in all that we do. But we got to make sure we're aligned and go in the right direction, and we're all together so that we can do that.
Yeah. One of the things I've learned about myself has to do with mental fitness. I participated in a coaching program. I'll hold up the book here. It was by this author, Shazad Shamin, and it's positive intelligence. And it's all about improving your mental fitness. And basically what he says is we all have, at varying degrees of severity, about 10 saboteurs. We all have a judge. And, you've heard of the inner critic, right? We judge ourselves. And we're picking on our brain, goes and picks on ourselves. You shouldn't have done that. You should do this. But the judge, what he says is it judges other people, circumstances, as well as ourselves. And then it recruits these other saboteurs. And there's an assessment on his positiveintelligent.com website that you can take. And my saboteurs, I already knew that I was, driven by hyperachiever. And also a people pleaser. But another one that came up for me when I took the assessment was restless. And that really made sense because I kind of tend to get bored. I'll move from one project to another, sometimes without finishing. So those saboteurs, what he says is they drive us to achieve, but it's all based on like fear and anxiety and pushing. Right. And they're like in the left side of our brain. And on our right side, we have our sage, which is driven by like empathy, compassion, and he coaches on how to improve and strengthen those sage muscles of our brain and kind of weaken the saboteur muscles. And I participated in his coaching program, and now I'm able to coach it. And it was just awesome. It really, really changed my life, actually.
That's awesome. I wrote that down. I'm gonna check that out because that's right up the alley of my whole thought pattern of life and what I'm doing. We have so many things where the way we think controls our life. Yeah. We have so many limiting beliefs. We let fear and anxiety rule our life. And one thing that I was going to say was, since we're talking books, this is a great, great book. It's called Winning the War of Your Mind. Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life by Craig Groeschel. Great book. And it is just all about the way we think and the way we perceive things and how that affects everything we do, because we are what we think. It's true. I mean, we become what we think about.
Well, we tend to think that situations are controlling our feelings when really it's our thoughts, and we can control our thoughts. I've been reading several times over lately Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, as well as Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And they're not, they were written during the Depression time frame. So that's why the word rich is in there. I think a lot of people were looking to, make some money again. But rich doesn't always mean money. It means living a rich lifestyle, having rich friendships, having a life that you love. And it all starts with our thoughts. And we tend to think that circumstances drive our thoughts and drive our feelings. When COVID's over, I'll do this. When this happens, I'll do that. When really, we need to start right now. We don't need to wait for circumstances to change. We can change our thoughts, and that will lead to changed circumstances.
Oh my goodness, you're speaking my language. I mean, it is so true, because as Craig says in that book, we move in the direction of our strongest thoughts, right?
Yes.
So as we are thinking, we are choosing and making, direction changes all throughout our day and throughout our life. And it all has to do, it's not like you think positive thoughts and suddenly everything is wonderful. Mm-hmm. What it means is whatever is going on around you, good, bad, indifferent, whatever, we are, by the way we're thinking about it and perceiving it, we are making choices and movements and actions based on that. And that is what we can do. We can look at things where, I tend to be the kind of person, my personality is, they say, oh, the car fell apart and this happened and the house caught on fire and all that. And I would say, well, the good news is we're still alive and we still have our family. It's all how you perceive everything. And that doesn't mean everything. Like I said, it still doesn't mean everything, because people will say, well, you can't just think positively and everything is good. You're right. You can't. But you can think positively and choose to make it good in your thoughts, in your mind, in your choices from that point on.
Exactly. We judge circumstances to be good or bad when really it's just this happened.
Yep.
Is it good or is it bad? Maybe your car broke down. Maybe that prevented you from being in an accident down the road later. I mean, we just don't know. And so instead of, so what Shirzad Chamine says with this book, is our saboteur will tell us that's bad. The judge will recruit my hyperachiever and say, Emily, you need to achieve more. Push, get anxious, finish, work harder, you'll be happier. It's not true. And that might have helped me when I was a child, survive my childhood or whatever, but it's not helping me now. And we tend to think sometimes that, well, I can't fix that. I can't control that. Like I thought, I can't meditate, but I can. I read a quote recently that said, we should all meditate for 15 minutes. And if you think you're too busy, then you need to do it for an hour.
Well, we're too busy for what we choose to be too busy for. We have time that we have what we make time for. And, a lot of what you're saying too, when you get that inner voice or, it comes at you and it says, this is the way, this is bad or whatever. I just say, I don't accept that premise. I don't accept that statement. I choose to do good things with it and make it's a situation that happened, but here's where I'm going from there. And so like you said, it's only bad if we let it be bad in our lives.
Right.
It's only
Shazad says basically that only though 20% of teams and individuals achieve their true potential because they're not mentally fit. And what he talks about is doing these exercises to command your mind to not listen to that saboteur, to bring it back and to focus on the empathy, the curiosity, the sage side of your brain. And it takes practice. So I give an example of, if you want to get strong muscles, you got to go to the gym and lift weights, right? If you want to improve your mental fitness, you have to do the work. And it's not really hard and long work. Like when I worked in DC, I joined the gym and I walked by it every day on the way to work. And I didn't get any stronger. So I realized I got to go in there. I got to do the exercises. And I actually hired a coach because of my you got to know yourself. My pleaser personality, I knew I would show up to the gym for that coach because I had told him I'd be there at that time and I was paying him. So I was there. So that got me started in the habit of working out. And then I was able to keep it up. Same with this mental fitness coaching program that I went through. You get a little app and you have these 2-minute, 5-minute, 12-minute mental fitness exercises. And eventually you learn that you can even just practice them when you're walking the dog or washing your hands. You can incorporate it during the day. So it's not like you have to sit down for, an hour and do these exercises, but it really train your brain to come back. And some people are like you and can just find the positive in it and they're good. But other people, like Shirzad said, most people don't, and we can strengthen that and it just makes our lives so much better. I lived it, so I can say it helped me a lot.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, everybody has different personalities, and we have to learn to overcome the areas we're weaker in and the areas we're not naturally able to do that. Some people, like me, can let things roll right off them and just grab a positive attitude, and other people can't. And
Right.
so we all choose that. We train our brains. We pick good habits because every day our life is made up of habits, good habits, bad habits. We have to continue to develop those habits. And I'm always a big proponent of that. I'm good with starting the day with good habits. Start the day with a good routine, a good start. Do things that, like you said, meditation. I pray and meditate and journal and do devotions every morning. And then I exercise. After that, I got back this morning. I swam and I biked at the club and I walked with my dog and I did all that stuff. And that's what I do. But I have dedicated my brain and my body to doing that. And when I did that, I think I've lost track. It's a lot of days, but I did it 9-10 years ago. I made a commitment to myself and to God that every day I would do this in the morning, and I do it every day, 365 days a year, whether we're on vacation, whether it's Christmas, whatever, I still do it. I wake up and I do it because it is what frames my brain, frames my perspective, frames my mindset for the day. And oh my goodness. You've got me going, and we could go like hours over, but we're already over time, so I got to wrap it up.
Okay.
But we're going to have to do a part 2. We're going to schedule a part 2 right when we're done here today because I want to pick this back up. But tell everybody, they're going to want to know more right off the bat. So tell everybody how they get in touch with Emily.
Well, you've got the banner going across. I'm on LinkedIn, so connect with me on LinkedIn. And then my website is Emily Harman, HARMAN.com. And by tomorrow or the next day, I'll have a page up on my website for how to sign up for the mental fitness coaching as well. Perfect.
Awesome. That is so great. I'm going to look into that too. The information, sounds great. So listen, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on today. What great information. And you got me going more positive already.
Thanks, Russ.
Okay. Well, hang tight. I'm going to send you out. I'll talk to you in just a minute. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Whether you're watching this live or on replay, make sure that you say, hey, that you make comments. I love when people join in. I've got a friend of mine, George, that's saying, hey, Russie boy this morning. So, hey, George, good to see you. I love to get those comments and be able to put them up on the screen. But what's so important, and George, by the way, is one of the most positive guys I know as well. But what I really want to impart to you today is whether you watch this live or on replay, I want you to share it with a friend. Show them what they missed in this great interview with Emily. She's got so much great information. We talk about this podcast is about how amazing people connect. She's definitely one of those amazing people. And I appreciate her so much. George is still commenting to me, telling me totally positive, got the positive muscles going. Way to go, George. So listen, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much again. I appreciate each one of you watching. Don't forget, we're here every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time right now here on the West Coast. And until we see you again, have a great day and a great life. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.